What's up, wrestling fans? The Bat Fry, Kenny Fry here with our boy, Adam the Answer Glenn. And coming up on the Atomic Drop podcast, we'll be talking Monday Night Raw, King and Queen of the Ring tournament, and Friday Night SmackDown, King and Queen of the Ring tournament. That's hard to say, and much, much more coming up in about 40 seconds. So stay tuned to the Atomic Drop podcast. We'll be right back. It's Fight Night! What's up, wrestling fans? Welcome to the Atomic Drop podcast. I'm your host, the Bat Fry, Kenny Fry, with our boy, the Answer, Adam Glenn. What's up, Adam? How you doing this fine Saturday night?
I'm doing good. It's Saturday night. Wrestling's at the all-time great now. I don't think wrestling has ever been better.
I'll tell you what. I think you're right. A lot of people talk about back during the Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era and the 80s Golden Era, whatever the hell. I guess that's what they call it. I'm not sure what they call the 80s era with Hulk Hogan when he was at his peak and stuff like that. I think they call that the Golden Era, or the Rock and Wrestling Era, whatever you want to call it. But I feel like wrestling right now, top to bottom, is just fantastic. I mean, I guess the one thing that the Attitude Era might have had over this era right here was that the Monday Night Wars, the battle between WCW and WWF, WWE, is probably was a lot more engaging than what the battle is between AEW and WWE, if you even want to call it that. I mean, WWE runs laps around AEW. I don't watch AEW. I don't know about the product. I just know that ratings-wise, attendance-wise, but yeah, I'm sure AEW's a fine product. I have no idea. I don't watch it. I don't have time to watch. I barely have time to watch WWE. So with that being said, though, let's kick this off. Let's get it started right here with some Monday Night Raw talk. So Monday Night Raw, we had the start of our King and Queen of the Ring tournament, and I really like how they're doing this. I like each match they're having on the brands and stuff. There's a men's bracket, women's bracket. One side you have Raw, the other side you have SmackDown. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we kick it off, Adam, with Jey Uso. Well, actually, it was supposed to be, I believe, Drew McIntyre versus Finn Balor. I believe that's what it was supposed to be. And Drew McIntyre medically not cleared. He's hurt, elbow, so he's not allowed to wrestle. So Finn Balor believes that he should get a bye. If his opponent can't wrestle, that's a forfeiture, right? I kind of understand where Finn Balor's coming from. But our boy Adam Pearce comes out there and does the douchebaggy type of thing and makes Finn Balor wrestle somebody else. And Finn Balor and the boys from the Judgment Day are not happy about it. And so Adam Pearce reveals to Finn Balor that he's going to have to face the Yeet Master himself, main event or mid-carder Jey Uso. That's I call him mid-card Jey Uso. I know some people like to call him main event Jey Uso, including himself. But if you have to call yourself main event Jey Uso or main event at all, you're probably not a main eventer. So what were your thoughts, Adam, on Adam Pearce not allowing Finn Balor a bye, even though his opponent had a forfeit, and announcing Jey Uso as his opponent? Were you excited to see Jey Uso versus Finn Balor?
Yeah, it was a good replacement for Drew McIntyre. Like, you can't give anybody a bye. There's no buys in wrestling.
I agree, Adam. Yeah, there are no buys in wrestling. I get it. So the match itself was actually a really good match. It was a good match. back and forth. You'd expect it to. Finn Balor's fantastic in the ring. Jey Uso is very good in the ring, even though he's a mid-carder. And Drew McIntyre did actually make an appearance to kind of in hopes of distracting main event Jey Uso, but it kind of backfired a little bit. Main event Jey Uso was able to stay on task, keep his wits about him while not, basically keeping one eye on his opponent and one eye on McIntyre. And he did that pretty well, and he was able to come out with the victory and move on in the King of Ring tournament Raw bracket. What were your thoughts on the match there, Adam?
I thought it was a good match, good ending. Like with Jey Uso winning, but I also agree with you. How she main event Jey Uso, he didn't win anything.
Yeah. It's they call him main event Jey Uso, and he's been in the main event once. All the other times he's a mid carder. Now, when he was a tag team, they were tag team champion. He and his brother, when it was Jimmy and Jay, the Usos. Then they were main event. That was a hell of a tag team, one of the great tag teams of all time. But main event Jey Uso, not so much. And I know everybody loves the Yeet. I hate the Yeet. Adam, I believe you hate the Yeet as well. Are you a Yeet master, or what are you?
No, it's okay, but the fans do it, so it's okay with me.
I'll tell you what I do like about the Yeet thing, like you said about the fans doing it. I do like. I guess it was at. I think they start. I don't know if they did this before, but at Backlash, where they had the lights down and they had the cameras out, and they're all doing that, like that with their cell phone lights and stuff like that, their cell phone flashlights. I think that was in France. I think that was the first time I seen that when I was in France. I thought that was actually pretty cool. I like how they did that. It is good crowd interaction, so you can take it for what it is. I just can't stand the Yeet thing. And I'll tell you what, somebody else brought this up, Adam. I want to get your thoughts on this real quick before we move on from this match. The what chant, speaking of Attitude Era, the what chant, Stone Cold Steve Austin made popular back in the day. And it has, surprisingly, it's had some legs. It's going on for what is it, 20 plus years now? The what, you hear all the fans chant, what? Do you think that has run its course? Do you think that is overplayed?
I don't think it really.
Huh?
Like, it's just fun to say, like, someone talks, like, especially a restaurant. What?
So you still like the what chant?
Yeah, it's still pretty good to me. Because I always have it, so I don't know if it'll ever get old to me.
All right. I'm not a big fan of it. I don't like the what chant. I think it's overplayed. At certain moments, I like it. Like when there's a heel trying to weasel their way or give excuses as to why something didn't work their way. I do enjoy the what chant then. I like that. Gets them frustrated or whatever. But I think it's used way too much. And you can see Yeet going that way too. I don't know about. I remember the yes chant when Daniel Bryan was there. I don't think that. I don't know if that ever got overplayed. It doesn't seem to. They don't use it at all anymore. So I guess it didn't really have the legs as the what chant did. I always kind of like the yes. The hands in the air, yes, but that doesn't get used all that often. And occasionally you'll see it a little bit, but besides that, you don't get the yes chant at all. I don't know if that's because Daniel Bryan's in AEW as Bryan Danielson I believe that's his real name, or what it is, but you don't get the yeses or the no's. Might as well go that route as well.
I think that was the yes chant, plus with him being in AEW.
Yeah.
They really can't.
You think that has something to do with it?
Yeah, because he was known as yes. It'd be weird if they did that there.
Yeah.
I don't think they want to cross the lines too much like that because they know he's famous for WWE.
Yeah.
But before we move on, do you think Drew McIntyre is hurt, or do you think that's a storyline?
I think he's probably legit hurt. I don't know, because it makes me wonder with him and CM Punk and stuff like that. Is this just a way for them to have them almost have like the same type of injury? Is this their way to kind of keep them apart a little bit, to have I don't know, to have them just like because on Monday Night Raw they just missed each other, which was kind of funny. Was you had Adam Pearce and Drew McIntyre are arguing. McIntyre hops in his fancy car and pulls away. As soon as he pulls away, he's not even out of the parking garage yet. CM Punk pulls right up behind him in his muscle car. And, so I wonder if this is their way of kind of keeping Drew McIntyre fresh but relevant, with the whole CM Punk story. I don't know. I have no idea. My opinion is he's probably really hurt, and they still got to use him. They still got to keep him in people's minds. So you're still probably going to see him, just like they did with CM Punk. You didn't see CM Punk for a little bit after surgery, but since then he's been around a lot more. So I think it is a legit injury, and I expect to see Drew week in and week out. What do you think?
Wait, I don't know if it's like it's too bad if it's a legit injury, but if they're playing it like I think they might be playing it off like an injury. But could you see him cause Jey Uso to match and having him versus Jey Uso at the King of the Ring?
I don't know. He tried once already, so I mean it didn't work. I don't know if he'd try it again. I'm not really sure. I don't think he's going to have a match at King of the Ring. I think King of the Ring is going to be pretty much stacked. You're going to have I assume that's just only the championship matches will be there. The King of the Ring finals for both brackets. So the men's bracket Raw. I don't know. Is it set up where the men's Raw winner faces the SmackDown winner?
Yeah, I think that's how it's set up.
Okay, so you'll have the men's bracket winner, the women's bracket winner, championship. For the both of those, you'll have your universal title match. You'll have the women's match, I believe, also championship match, and I'm not sure what else. So maybe you will. I don't know. I just don't see it. You'll have an Intercontinental title match as well. So I don't know. That's a good question, Adam. I don't know. Real quick, Eileen checking in. There's our first comment of the night. Eileen, she says, "Hello, Eileen. How are you? Thank you for checking in. Thank you for
commenting.
Our top
fan for tonight. We are getting challenged by Sean, so we got to bring it, Eileen.
Eileen's gonna bring it. So it's that's an interesting question. I don't know if moving forward if he'll continue trying to cost Jey Uso the match, or if he'll just straight up and go in and cost Jey Uso the match. I don't know, but I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens. All right. So moving forward, after that match, we had Ilya Dragunov versus Ricochet. Dude, what a freaking match this was! Absolutely insane. I felt like I had a little bit of a slow start, kind of filling each other out. But when business picked up, it picked up for real. I mean, just high speed after high speed. And I'll tell you one thing about Dragunov, terrific in the ring, absolutely. Ricochet, we all know Ricochet's fantastic in the ring. But Dragunov, he's the new king of the sell. The dude just sells like every bump. He sells everything, which is great. But it's the oversell. Like our boy Dolph Ziggler used to do, almost not quite to that extent yet, but I mean he gets hit in the face and he got his hands up in his jaw, like, oh my god, every time. And he really puts the palm of his hand in his mouth like he's checking all of his teeth or whatever. So it's really interesting. So he's definitely working his way on becoming the king of the hard sell there. But the fantastic, high spots. Ricochet unfortunately comes out on the short stick. Out on the short end of the deal here. And Dragunov does move on in the King of the Ring portion of the bracket. And I don't like Dragunov's finisher. I can't think of what he calls it. It's that dive with the forearm to the face or whatever. I don't know. I just don't look at it as a terrific type finisher. There's not like for his whole body of work in the ring, watching all his skill set, his moves and stuff. It's all sorts of speed, high flying, hard hitting. And then for his finisher to be something that seems so simplistic, I don't know. I just feel like he could do more of a finisher. I wouldn't be too surprised if somewhere in the future he kind of changes it up a little bit and adds something to it to make it look a little bit more devastating than what it already might be. I don't know. The one thing I'll give him credit for is when he does do that, his finisher with the forearm to the face while the guy's on the mat, it does add a nice little slap to it, makes it sound devastating, but it just doesn't look visually. It just doesn't have the look as a great finisher. So what were your thoughts on this match, Adam?
I thought it was a great matchup, but I don't know who. Like, I don't watch NXT, so I don't know who that Dragunov is, but he was very, very impressive in his first match. For me seeing him, I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, and so he was up. He wrestled a few weeks ago against Nakamura, and he defeated Nakamura. That's his first match. I think it was on Monday Night Raw a few weeks ago, and he impressed there. Like you, Adam. I don't watch NXT at all, but I've seen clips of him. I've heard of him. And so he's the one that defeated Gunther in NXT for the NXT Championship. He ended Gunther's reign there. I think he might have been the first person actually to defeat Gunther in NXT. And that's when Gunther went from, I'm pretty sure it wasn't too long after that, Gunther went from NXT to the main roster and started his reign of terror on the main roster here. So fantastic. A lot of fun to watch. I can't wait to see more of him. I do like the little vignettes they do with him. They had one nice little video of him training or lifting or whatever you want to call it, and I thought that was pretty cool. So I'm excited to see a lot more of Ilya Dragunov, and I'm excited to see what he does in the rest of this tournament. I don't have the brackets in front of me, so I'm not really sure what the next round of matchups look like, to be honest with you. So. I don't know if Dragunov takes on Gunther next. For some reason, I feel like that's who it is. I feel like Dragunov has Gunther next. Or is it Jey Uso? I don't know. I'm not going to guess because it's just going to make me look like an asshole, so I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I think it might be Jey Uso.
I think you're right. I'm trying to picture the bracket in my head, and I believe Jey Uso and Dragunov, their matches were near the top of the bracket, but I could be way off on it. I don't know. Let me double check here real quick. I did take a screenshot of it because I wanted to get it right, but of course I forgot about it.
But that sounds like it's right. The match.
Yeah, it's gonna be Uso and Dragunov. Yeah, so that's the next round, and Gunther, because he beat Sheamus. We'll talk about that in a little bit. He'll face the winner of Kofi Kingston and Rey Mysterio. All right. Got another comment here from Fenderzer 86er. What's going on? He said, yo, what's up there, Fenderzer 86er? Thanks for checking the show out. Thank you for commenting there on YouTube. For those watching right now, throw your comments out, throw your questions, your thoughts on Raw, thoughts on SmackDown, King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring. Throw your thoughts out there. Even if you just want to call us a couple of assholes, I don't care. Throw it out there and we'll put it up there and we'll call you an asshole back. So that's all it is. Thanks for checking the show out. Thank you for commenting. I appreciate it very much. You can comment Facebook, YouTube, and on X. I haven't figured out. Adam has figured out. I cannot figure it out. I don't know. But if you figure it out, you're supposed to.
Your daughter's 13. She's your tech support. Ask her. I guarantee you she knows.
I guarantee you she doesn't know because she's not on X. So you tap the live feed, and then the box will expand, and you tap the live feed again, and there's supposed to be a comment section. So if you're able to do it, and let me know how you did it. Adam's here holding out on me. He's telling me to ask my 13-year-old daughter. She doesn't know because she's not on X. And here Adam, he's sitting here. He knows, but he won't tell me. So what does that say?
I'll just figure it out.
He's trying to Shawn Michaels me and throw me through the goddamn plate glass window here, trying to hang me out to dry. Thanks a lot, Adam Glenn.
Well, there was a reason why you make airplane parts for a living.
Yeah, I do make airplane parts.
I don't think it's that hard to figure out. I'll have to try to figure it out this week.
I beat the shit out of my phone trying to get the comment section up. My phone's like begging and pleading, tapping out. It doesn't want any more.
Yeah, we asked the comments, because if there's AEW fans out there, if you want to defend your brand, because me and Kenny don't like AEW.
Well, I didn't say I didn't like AEW. I don't watch AEW. I didn't say I didn't like it. I've never even given it a chance because I just don't have the time for it. throwing. Why are you trying to throw me under the bus, Adam Glenn? What the hell is that about?
Oh,
Holy Christ!
AEW after mad that we don't like your show.
Oh, okay. Fantasy Football Girl, she says, hey, what's up? First of all, thanks for checking out the show. Thank you for commenting. She says, finally caught you guys. Go Cubbies. There you go. A Cubs fan. How about that? Cubbies not looking too bad here in the early part of the season. I do like the Cubs this season. I think they have a good roster. I think they're primed to make a little bit of noise. Shota Imanaga is looking fantastic. She says AEW is good. So there we go. We got an AEW fan. Also says Sasha needs to come back to WWE. What's her name? Monet. Is it Monet something or other? I can't think of her first name. But she's the CEO, man. She's the CEO. That's what I'm talking about. I like the Hawk from AEW. All right, the Hawk. We'll look that up then.
Well, fantasy football girl. You know, that? Cubs like in the AEW. She likes the underdogs.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, that could be it. She likes the underdogs. Cubs, AEW. Eileen says, how's my girl? You know, her and the fantasy football girl, they go way back. The fantasy football days. Our bats suck. Yeah, they'll come around though. It's something I talk about on the Bat Cave every Wednesday, 10 a.m. when I talk to New York Mets. Baseball's so fickle. It's ebbs and flows, ups and downs. You know, it's mostly the bats. The pitching usually stays fairly consistent. For the most part, you'll have little dips and little peaks, but the bats mostly usually get those big valleys. It's all of a sudden your bats are fantastic, and then all of a sudden they're really, really bad. But then they're fantastic again. It's about catching those ebbs and flows at the right points and going on runs. She also says, yes, something like that. Good now that I got some weed. There we go. All right. She's having a little party time. Yeah, party. And she's also telling Eileen that her Yankees are looking okay. The Yankees are looking okay. The Yankees
what about those Phillies?
And the Phillies are looking really good. They won again today, I believe. The Yankees, they're playing well. That's another team I expect to make the playoffs and make some noise. So, and the Phillies, obviously, I think the Phillies are going to make some playoffs, are going to make the playoffs, at least be in the mix. Making noise, I don't think they'll make noise. They'll go out, a little peep, a little squirt.
You're basically guaranteed. It's like Warriors are busting Philly.
Yeah, right. They'll go on a 20-game losing streak. Adam Glenn.
Hey, did the
Mets then you won't be talking. Today? Huh?
Did the Mets get a hit today?
We're not talking about the Mets, Adam Glenn. We're talking about wrestling here.
Well, we're talking about baseball right now.
No, we're not. I don't know what you're talking about.
They were getting no hit last time.
Well, they did not get no hit, Adam Glenn. For your information, JD Martinez had a solo homer. So we're not talking about baseball. All right, Adam, we're talking about wrestling here. Back to the show. All right, so one more men's match, or no, we had one more men's match from the bracket. We had Gunther and Sheamus to end Monday Night Raw. And I'll tell you what, those guys, they put on a fantastic show, fantastic match each and every time. They beat the hell out of each other. And Sheamus, like him, hate him, whatever. He's one of my favorite all-time wrestlers, Sheamus. I'm a big Sheamus fan ever since he came into WWE. And his skin is perfect for showing bumps, for showing how brutal a match is. I mean, as soon as Gunther starts slapping this, slapping his chest and giving him chops and stuff, it's like the first one, Sheamus's chest was bright pink. I mean, it's amazing. It gives so much great visualization for the fans and for the people watching at home on TV. It really makes you like, oh man, that it hurts. And there's the one point in the match where they showed Sheamus's back, and you could actually see Gunther's handprint on the man's back. It's like, and I don't know about you, Adam Glenn. I know you have an older brother, Paul, and great guy. Love Paul. He's fantastic. Known Paul for a long time. But me growing up with my brothers, I have two. We used to slap the hell out of each other on the back, especially when our backs would get wet. Either we're outside playing and get sweaty, we'd take a shirt off. Or after a bath would be even worse. Then we'd slap the hell out of each other on our backs, trying to get handprints and stuff like that. Man, just seeing that took me way back to the early days of life. But a brutal match. Gunther comes out on top. We did have a little bit of interference by that moron Kaiser. Kaiser did interfere, messed with Sheamus's knee a little bit, but in the end, didn't really matter anyway. Gunther would have came out on top. Gunther wins. Gunther moves on, and he, like I said, he will face the winner of Rey Mysterio and who was the other guy? Adam Glenn, help me out here. Is Rey Mysterio? I just said it 2 seconds ago, but I forgot right away. Kofi Kingston.
Oh,
Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston. So that's who Gunther will face in the next round, the winner of that match. And
but that irritates me. Like, that match won't be seen on TV. It's going to be at a live event, so we won't be able to see it.
I was wondering about that. I missed that. I didn't hear that on the broadcast. So I'm kind of surprised by that, but it gives those live events a little bit more meaning. Then it gives if they're having a hard time selling tickets to a live event, throw that on their match like that. Hey, this is to advance to the King of the Ring. You might get more people show up to it. I don't know. I don't know if that's the reasoning behind it, but that is kind of surprising. What were your thoughts on the Gunther Sheamus match?
I thought it was a great match. Great match. Gunther really did it, but I don't know why that Kaiser had to get involved. Gunther could beat him clean, but I guess I guess they had to give Sheamus a reason to lose.
Yeah. Well,
leave.
Yeah, it definitely didn't hurt. Didn't help Sheamus's case to win the match, but I don't think I guess you could say it did hurt his chances to win because it did mess with the knee. He kind of gave a pretty nasty I think it was a drop kick to the knee when it was tangled up in the ropes. And ever since after that, Sheamus was limping a lot. There was a couple moves that he tried executing, he could not execute because the knee was giving out, as Michael Cole would say, and or it would buckle. But
then a knee gave out and Gunther beat him with Boss Crab, so they could blame that on how Sheamus wins or lost.
Yeah, and so are you surprised that Sheamus lost by tapping out?
He basically had no choice. Like his knee was done. Like he couldn't stand on his knee, so I think he's gonna go after Kaiser.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he and Kaiser will probably wrestle next. I wouldn't be surprised if that's next Monday, actually, which it would make all the sense in the world. Fantasy Football Girl, she says she loves Gunther. Well, we love Gunther too. I love Gunther. I think he's fantastic. I love how dominant Gunther is, how brutal he is, and it's just so many different ways he's beaten opponents or has inflicted punishment on opponents. It's just fantastic. It's something. It seems like something new every week that he does to an opponent to inflict pain. It's awesome. He was chopping the back of Sheamus's leg. He was chopping his hamstring, chopping his knee. That was awesome. It's one of the things that you don't get a whole lot of like you used to back in the olden days, Adam Glenn, is a wrestler working on a body part that's injured. You used to get that all the time. They'd work on, they'd find an injured body part and they'd work on it, with arm bars or leg locks. And I get it. Sometimes that gets a little bit boring, just laying on the mat and but it used to always get the fans involved as well because the guy that was having the hold applied, would start banging his leg on the ring and the fans would start clapping and stuff like that to try to give him, some motivation to get out of that move. You don't see that a whole lot anymore. It's kind of not played up as much.
Yeah, they did it back in the day. They beat on the leg, they do a submission move, where they get the leg.
Yeah.
But I am becoming a Gunther fan after I did not like him as he held the title too long. But now I am becoming a Gunther fan.
He's awesome in the ring. He is absolutely awesome in the ring, and I can't wait to see him get the one of the championships on WWE or Universal. Fantasy Football Girls. So let me ask you guys this: I said that the RKO is the best finisher of all time. Someone commented that Stone Cold's is. What do you guys think, and what is your all-time favorite? All right, so you have the Stone Cold Stunner and the RKO. Basically the same move done differently. So you have the RKO. So all right, let me reverse it. The stunner, you come up, usually it's the kick in the gut, or sometimes he didn't get that leg up very high. He got a kick in the groin, but a kick in the gut, and then the stunner where Stone Cold would drop to his ass, and that's where the chin throat area would hit his shoulder, and that would be it. Now with Randy Orton, the RKO, it's basically grabbing the head and going flat with your opponent. And so which is the better of the two? For me, I think the stunner is probably more. If you want to look at it as legit, as a real move, I think the stunner would probably be worse because you're driving that chin, that neck area down on the shoulder, and it's stopping abruptly when his ass hits that mat, that or the ground or whatever. Whereas the RKO, you're taking it down. You're doing this finisher, and you're going down flat with your opponent. I just don't think that's as devastating as what the stunner would be, and that's my thought on it. I think the stunner's is a better finisher. What are your thoughts on it, Adam?
Now it's between the stunner and the RKO for best move finisher of all time.
Well, what are your thoughts on which is a better finisher, the stunner or the RKO?
RKO because it comes out of nowhere.
All right, and then there is that excitement factor where it does come out of nowhere, where it's either a springboard, or I was expecting actually on SmackDown, I thought it was going to come off the Styles Clash where he does from the top rope. I thought he was going to do it from there. I was expecting an RKO from there, but he ended up just doing it when I think AJ spun him around to do something to him. I'm not sure what it was, to give him maybe a phenomenal forearm or something. I don't know. And Randy hit it there. It's just like you said, out of nowhere. Or we've seen all those great ones through the years. The RKO from Seth Rollins and stuff like that, where Seth springboarded off his back and he got him like that. So there is that excitement aspect to it, where it can be done out of nowhere. Whereas the stunner is more of a planned move. There's no oh my God, it just out of nowhere kind of thing. It's so I get that part of it. But so Adam, what's your favorite finisher of all time then?
The sharpshooter.
The sharpshooter. There you go. I like that one. All right.
Can everybody get out of it? I don't think everyone got out of it because, like you said, like back in the day, he beat on the legs.
Yeah, I'm sure there's
the best finisher of all time.
I'm sure there's people that have actually gotten out of it. I can't tell you who because I just don't have that kind of memory or brain. But for me, there's so many. I think probably my favorite might be the Tombstone. I'm a big Undertaker fan. I love the Tombstone. I was also, for some reason, I was also a big fan of the Clothesline from Hell from JBL. I think just because how violent it looked, how the other guy would sell it. I always thought that was awesome. But I would have to go, I think, with the Tombstone. So
yeah, two good finishers. Yeah. But like I say, sharpshooter because no one can do the sharpshooter these days. Like Natalya can't even try it.
Yeah, nobody does. You'll see the sharpshooter occasionally, but it's not sunk in. It's not usually. You usually don't see too many people tap out from it anymore. Or like you said, it just doesn't get executed. She tries to, you can see her. She'll get the leg, she'll cross the leg, she'll step through, and then she'll get punched or kicked or whatever. You don't see it executed all that often anymore. And your old school type submission holds, you just don't see executed anymore. Usually there's something new, like some sort of MMA type mix into it, like with like cross faces or like some sort of choke. You know what I mean? Like there's some sort of MMA influence, and I get that because it's that real world, that real feel to it. Then because MMA being real fighting, so it kind of I understand mixing in some MMA type holds into it to make it feel like, okay, yeah, this person really would tap out of this because I've seen Joe Blow in the UFC tap out from it. So I understand that part of it. She also says, all right, just RKO on steroids. Do you think Randy Orton's on steroids?
Yeah. Can you get that big from not being on steroids?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he is.
I don't think he's on steroids. Because they test for it, and if you want to say it's legit or not, I don't. That there's they have to have what the hell do you call it? not contracts. They have to have. I don't know if that the right word is waivers, but they like the fighting commissions. Like the Nevada, fighting commission or what. I can't think what the exact name is, but they have to go through those people, I believe, to be able to wrestle, even though it's still a staged, a planned, outcome, and it's not real fist fighting or anything like that. But I still think they have to go through those commissions like that, and they're not going to be able to do that with people on steroids. They're getting tested all the time, and so I don't think. Well, I think I don't think she's asking for Randy Orton. To be honest with the way I read it now, I don't think she's asking if Randy Orton's on steroids. I think she's just saying the stunner is the RKO on steroids. I think that's what she's saying. Never mind. Never mind. She's not saying Randy Orton's on. It's the RKO move that's on steroids. Okay, saying the stunner is like the RKO on steroids. All right. Never mind. Forget about Randy Orton on steroids. He's not. Anyway, and like she agrees with you, Adam. RKO you can do out of anywhere though, and which is it gives you that huge excitement factor. I just think devastating wise, I think that would be the Stone Cold Stunner. Paul Spencer checking in. What's up, Paul? He said, "What's up, Atomic Drop? UFC over. Now waiting for some boxing. Told you, Ken. Take my boy Hopper plus 400. Also, congrats to friend Patrick Brady for his second round TKO and bare knuckle fighting debut. There's a sport to get into there. Adam Glenn, you ever want to be a bare knuckle fighter?
No, that's all right.
Yeah, me neither, buddy.
I'll shoot to be a fan.
I don't want to get punched in the face at all, whether it's a glove or not. Speaking of bare knuckles and getting punched in the face, coming up here really soon, May 27th, we have, let me get the comment off of here real quick before I continue, because now you can't see it. There we go. And we get the banner off. God bless it. Mondays, 8:30 p.m., starting May 27th. We're going to have Inside the Octagon with some UFC talk with our boy Paul and his co-host Josh on Facebook, YouTube, X. So be sure to check that out. Like, follow, subscribe. So all your UFC talk, UFC fans out there, check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be awesome. We used to have a UFC show here on Out of the Box Sports. That went away. Awesome to have it back. I'm very excited for it. And so all you combat sports fans, be sure to check that out. All right, we're back. I'll go back to the comments here real quick. We got a couple more I got to get caught up on. Where are we at? What is your guys' favorite move? What's your favorite move, Adam?
I don't know if I have our favorite move or finisher. I don't know if I have a favorite move.
Yeah, I think just the finisher. Like I said, the tombstone, and you had the what did you say it was? What one did you like? The sharpshooter, yeah.
That's my best of all time.
Who's that?
Bret Hart.
Oh no, Adam.
There is best there was, the best there ever will be.
The excellence of execution.
Yes, no one ever will be that great.
I thought you were gonna say Natalia.
No.
Or even Owen did it too. Owen used to do the sharpshooter.
And Talia is the name of her family name. It's good as Neidhart, and it's not hard.
And just like Fantasy Football Girl says, Shawn Michaels did it in the Montreal Screwjob. He did. That's when they called for the bell. He got Bret Hart in the sharpshooter, and they called for the bell. And Bret was getting ready to reverse it. He's grabbing Shawn's ankle, and Earl Hebner threw his little hands at the bell, and ding, ding, ding. That was it. History after that.
I'm a big Bret Hart fan, but Bret screwed Bret.
You're right. I agree. After seeing that documentary on it years and years ago, after it happened, I tend to agree with you, Adam. All you had to do was just drop the title there. And I get where he didn't want to drop the title in front of his home crowd or whatever. I get that, but that's all he had to do, though. That's all he had to do.
And he would still had his name because it took him down after that. After Montreal Screwjob, Bret Hart wasn't Bret Hart.
Well,
he drops the title like a real man.
Yeah, just do the job, right?
Yeah, do the job. You're going to WCW next night.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't a night. He said he would have came on Raw, and he would relinquish the title and stuff like that. He would have, which wouldn't have made no sense. It wouldn't have. It would have been a crappy way. The right way to do it, like you said, Adam, was to lose it in the middle of the ring like a man, like you're supposed to. You're a professional wrestler. It's professional. You're supposed to be professional about it. I don't think he was, but it wasn't cool of Vince to kind of run the okey doke on him either. So, Fantasy Football Girl says that, yeah, we figured that out with the move being on steroids, because I'm like, wow, she's asking if Randy's on steroids. But yeah, it was the RKO you meant. That was my bad. I misread the comment. Paul says, for some reason, I love AJ Lee's Black Widow. Oh my God, the Black Widow was awesome. Submission, but Stone Cold for sure, stunner. Do you remember the Black Widow submission by AJ Lee? Adam, Glenn, are you still there? Are you sleeping?
No, I'm still here, but I
Okay.
AJ Lee thing.
You don't remember the AJ Lee Black Widow? That was an absolutely insane looking submission hold. It's hard to even explain. Like, it's hard to even explain how she would get the move on somebody. But when she did it, it was just awesome. Like, arms are hooked and legs are hooked and like twisted in there. It was really, really neat looking. You'll have to look it up after the show, Adam. It's hard to explain it, but she would get them in it, and because I think they would still be standing, and she would be all wrapped up in them like a cobra around its prey or something. I don't know. It's hard to explain, but
yeah, I'll watch on YouTube or something. But that was the time I watch wrestling here and there, but not like every week.
Yeah, that's how I was, Adam Glenn, as well. I was in and out of wrestling, pretty much my whole life. I'd watch it for years, then I kind of lose interest and wouldn't watch it for a while, then watch it again for a while, then wouldn't watch it. It's never really wrestling. I've always loved wrestling. I'd go to matches and stuff like that, and this, that, and the other. But the television product, it just doesn't hold my attention all the time. Like right now, wrestling's fantastic. So I'm watching it on TV, but I'm also checking out stuff on internet. Like TikTok reactions or thoughts from other people on matches from on X or TikTok that way. So it's definitely right now it's definitely really, really hot. So it's kind of easy to follow along and easy to pay attention to. And yeah, they're not, the wrestlers are not juiced up like they used to be. Definitely.
No.
All right. Yeah.
I used to be here and there with wrestling, but it's so good now. Like I have to watch every week. It's like, oh, Monday Raw is on, Friday SmackDown's on.
Yeah. All right, so back to Raw here real quick. Got a couple more matches to get through here. Women's side of the Queen of the Ring bracket here, we have Lyra Valkyria versus Dakota Kai, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, that was supposed to be Asuka. It was supposed to be Lyra Valkyria versus Asuka. Asuka is hurt. She's been hurt for a few weeks, and they finally get her out. So Dakota Kai takes her place, and Dakota Kai loses to Lyra Valkyria. And Lyra Valkyria is very, very impressive. I'm really excited to see more of her. So before this match happened, you had Becky Lynch out there being interviewed by Michael Cole, and I'll tell you what, they should have figured out a different way to have that interview. It was boring. It was, in my opinion, it was stupid. And thank God Liv Morgan came out and kind of saved that. Blah blah blah. She came out there and said, what about Liv? Kind of blah. And that's when Becky Lynch says to Liv, you didn't let me finish, speaking. She's gonna have her title match 3 weeks at the King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring premium live event in Saudi Arabia. So you're gonna have Becky and Liv at that event there for the championship. But as that's going on, you have Damage Control out there, and they kind of surround the ring. Liv rolls out, and it's just Becky Lynch in there. They attack Becky. What Liv's like, that's not my problem. They attack Becky. They're pounding on Becky, and then Lyra Valkyria comes down to help Becky, her fellow Irish woman. They're both from Ireland, and helps her out, and they're able to chase off Damage Control. And that's when Lyra Valkyria has her match against Dakota Kai. And a really, really good match. Dakota Kai I haven't seen a whole lot of her. She's been injured for a while, and had a couple matches here or there, but now we're seeing a lot more of her. Dakota Kai is very, very good, but Lyra Valkyria, she's going to be a champion, and she's going to be a champion, I think, really soon. She was fantastic, absolutely, great. What were your thoughts on this match?
I thought it was a good match, but like that, they like that the Carrie whatever. She's at NXT, so I have no idea who she is. But for her match,
I think this is. I believe this might be her first match on the main roster. I believe so. I don't think we've seen her before, but this is another one where I don't watch NXT, but I've heard of her name and I've seen clips of her, and she's just awesome. She is awesome. Great skill set. She did moves that I've never seen before. Very, very fast paced. Some great moves in between the ropes too. Some really stiff kicks. I thought. Dakota Kai made him look really, really solid. So both ladies awesome. They knocked it out of the park. But Lyra Valkyria comes out on top and she moves on in the bracket. You had Io Sky versus Natalya, and this match was very good. Natalya still got it, man. I love Natalya, and I always root for Natalya. I've had for longest time since she's been in, since she started. So I'll continue rooting for Natalya. Even though she's basically a Nakamura right now, she's a high name jobber. It seems like, which is unfortunate. But Io comes out on top on this one. Io, we all know Io, former champion, just recently lost the title. She's awesome. She's what do they call her? The Empress of the Skies, I think that's what they call her, or something like that, or something of the sky. I don't know what the hell it is. But she's fantastic. That one move, is almost like a coup de grace she did on Natalya, but it wasn't from. I don't think it was from the top rope. I think it was maybe from the second rope. And it was a stomp on Natalya's stomach, rib area, and that looked painful. Just like whenever you watch Finn Balor do the coup de grace, it's like God, how does that not hurt? Like, how do they defend against that? And Natalya just let it happen, and sold it so well. It was awesome. Great job. The one thing I did like from Natalya, I did not like from Io Sky in this match. There was one point in the match where Natalya was outside the ring, and Io Sky, I kicked her in the chest and to knock Natalya away from her. Then Io Sky went to the middle of the apron, and she was going to do like a moonsault or something. Which, okay, I get that, but she pandered to the crowd and stood there for a while with her arms out. And I'm thinking, what the hell is she doing? She just kicked Natalya. She didn't put some sort of devastating move where Natalya's down and she's slowly getting up. She just pushed her away with her foot, basically. And she's taken so much time. I'm like, there's no way she's gonna be able to hit this move. And if she does, I'm like, what does that say about Natalya? Just stand there waiting for her to throw her body on her. But good on Natalya. She stood there and waited. Io Sky did the moonsault or whatever. I think it was a moonsault, and she missed. I'm like, well, yeah, you took a half an hour after you just barely pushed the girl away. So I thought that led a lot of credibility to the match there. I thought that was awesome. It's the little things like that get me, Adam Glenn. It's the little things sometimes that make me smile. But Io Sky was awesome, and Natalya. She's been around for a long time, and she was equally as good. So what were your thoughts on this match? Did you watch this match, Adam Glenn?
Yeah, I watched it. Io Sky is good. I like Io Sky.
Yeah,
kind of knew she was gonna beat Natalya. Not surprised there.
Io's just so good in the ring. So her skill set, it's almost unfortunate that her title reign went the way it went, because she was kind of with Damage Control, and I feel like Damage Control kind of took away from her title reign a little bit. I don't know if it's because of the group thing, and I don't know. I just felt like if it was just a straight up feud between her and Bayley. If it was a straight up feud between those two, let's say they were a tag team, and Io turned on her, and then it was a straight up feud between those. By Adam Glenn, where the hell did you go? Hey, there he is. Oh my God, it's Adam Glenn's hand. Watch out. There he is. But if it was just a Bayley Io Sky feud, I think it would have been a lot better. But because it was a Bayley against Damage Control feud, I think it took it away from Io. Because I think Io, it would have been a lot better if it was just Io versus Bayley type of feud. You all right there, Adam Glenn? What's going on? Shit's moving around. Adam, can you hear me? All right. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take Adam off here for a second until Adam's ready. Moving on from that, we had Zoe Stark versus Ivy Nile. Tough match to watch. And we know Zoe Stark can go. Zoe Stark's a very, very good wrestler. We've seen her. She had an absolutely insane match with Rhea Ripley a few months ago for the championship. I can't remember which pay-per-view it was, but it was a terrific match. So we know Zoe Stark can go. Ivy Nile's a little bit green behind the gills. Is fairly new to it, at least from everything that I've heard anyway. That they've said on the broadcast. Ivy Nile fairly new yet. So they didn't. It just didn't seem like the match flowed at all or very well at all. So Zoe Stark wins this match, and so whoever she faces in the next round, I think it's probably going to go a lot better because she's going to face an experienced wrestler. And Ivy Nile, she is getting better. She gets better every week. She's very strong, compact, fast. They call her the pit bull for a reason, and so I do expect her to be very, very good at one point. Just not yet. It's just not happening yet for me. And and let's see if Adam Glenn's ready here. Adam, can you hear me? Not yet. All right. So moving on from that. So like I said, you had Zoe Stark. Moving on. You had Bronson Reed versus Chad Gable. And really good match. Chad Gable's coming out now as a heel, right? So we all know the whole Chad Gable turning on Sami Zayn. Chad Gable's his daughter's crying at home now. She's probably happy that she made Sami upset. Made Sammy's wife cry. So now she doesn't feel like such a crybaby. Chad Gable's like, everybody in my freaking family's always crying, so I gotta do something different here. So he decides to turn heel. Maybe this will switch things up. Maybe they won't cry as much. So we'll see what happens there. Bronson Reed, it feels like Chad Gable is costing him his chance at the Intercontinental Championship. So they have it out. Terrific match, very good match. Two different styles. You have your Chad Gable, very technical, and like a long. You usually have the longer matches with Chad Gable. You look thinking 25, 30 minutes with Chad Gable. Very good matches, technically sound, all sorts of crazy moves. Bronson Reed, you're a big, powerful type guy, and you figure you're going to get a lot of like strong moves, big moves, big spots, slams, a lot of splashes. He does the tsunami from the top rope and stuff like that. But you got a nice combination, I thought, of both type of skill sets. You got Chad Gable able to do some of his holds, and you have Bronson Reed do some of his stronger type moves. So it was a very good. They offset each other, I thought, very well. It was done, I thought, really well. And then you have Sami Zayn come in, attack Chad Gable. That calls for the DQ. Well, that pisses big old Bronson Reed off. He gets up. Well, then Sami attacks him. Sami did get the one up on Bronson Reed, and he got the one up on Chad Gable. But then when his back is to Chad Gable comes in and attacks Sami, and he's at Sami, and then Bronson Reed gets back in the ring. He takes out Chad Gable, he takes out Sami, and the man left standing in the middle of that ring is Bronson Reed. So you have to wonder, is Bronson Reed primed for an Intercontinental Championship run? I don't know. It could be really interesting. So I don't think Sami's going to hold his title for very long. I think this is going to be one of those, bridge type championship runs. He's going to get a few. Title defenses in, because he's a fighting champion. They say he'll get a few of those in, and he will. I don't think he's going to hold it very long. So this match it's going to be a triple threat match. Sami announced after all the in-ring shenanigans, Sami Zayn announced that it's going to be a triple threat match. That's how he ends it. And I don't think Sammy loses that match, but I do think he does lose eventually to probably Bronson Reed. Now, let's see if Adam Glenn's ready to join the show yet. Adam, can you hear me? Adam can't hear me yet. All right. Anyway, so Sammy interferes in the match. It's a DQ, and now we end up with a triple threat at the King and Queen of the Ring premium live event. So it's going to be a good match. It's going to be interesting to see how Bronson Reed is able to keep up with Sammy and Chad Gable. That's the one good thing about a triple threat is you're gonna get a lot of one-on-ones because the one guy's going to be outside the ring. One guy's going to be outside the ring, catching his breath, acting like they're down and out and stuff like that. But so it's going to be a really good match, I believe, in my mind anyway. So that's what I have for Monday Night Raw. Move on to SmackDown here. Waiting for our boy Adam Glenn to figure his shit out here. I'm going to switch it over to the blue brand. I like that. There we go. All right, so moving on to SmackDown. So we have our King and Queen of the Ring matches also there, that side of the bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and read some of these matches off. They're probably not in order. I just started jotting them down. You had Carmelo Hayes versus Baron Corbin. It wasn't supposed to be Baron Corbin, I don't think. Or no, maybe it was. I feel like it was supposed to be somebody else, but I can't remember who it was. But anyway, Carmelo Hayes goes out on top on Baron Corbin. A couple of NXT guys. Of course, we know Baron Corbin. He has been in the main roster for a while, many moons ago. And I don't know if he was done dirty or not by Vince, meaning it didn't seem like he got a fair shake while on the main roster. But he did the best he could, basically. He did the best he could. And eventually he worked his way back down to NXT. And he did well down there. He was down there. He was teaming with what's his name? Braun Breaker. He was tag teaming with Braun Breaker. They were champions. And before Braun Breaker came up to the main roster, they did lose that championship. And I love watching Baron Corbin's TikToks with him cooking. I think it's just funny for some reason. I don't know why. So I get a kick out of that. But it was a terrific match between he and Carmelo Hayes. I don't know a whole lot about Carmelo Hayes, an NXT guy. Like I said before, I don't watch NXT. Just don't have the time for it. But it was a terrific match. Baron Corbin looked really, really good. I'll say that. Hopefully, we get to see more Baron Corbin in a better light. Meaning maybe winning some matches. He lost this one. It seemed like he had it in control, but Carmelo Hayes, rolled him up in a small package, and that was it, man. So it's he seemed to be a little bit shocked, but he looked. I'll tell you, he looked really good. I was excited for Baron Corbin, and not super excited by his ring gear. Like he came out with this like a leather vest. I don't know what that, like a sleeveless leather shirt. I don't know what the hell it was, but I'm like maybe ditch that, go with like a trench coat type thing or something. I don't know. I thought that was kind of goofy looking, but we got a couple comments here. Hey, John, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Thanks for checking out the show. Thank you for commenting. He says, hello, John. He also says Baron Corbin. Yeah. So what are your thoughts on Baron Corbin? They look good. Do you watch NXT? Carmelo Hayes, Baron Corbin. From everything I've heard, Baron Corbin really turned it around down in NXT. He started looking, much better, kind of gaining that confidence back and building that name back up. So it's good to see him back up on the main roster. I don't know even if it's just for this week. I don't know if he's going back down to NXT or not. But I thought he looked really good. I thought he looked good. So what are your thoughts on that, John? How do you think Baron Corbin looked Friday night? So Carmelo Hayes advances in the King of the Ring, SmackDown side of the bracket. And he will be facing, let me double check. I took a screenshot of the bracket, of the men's bracket. The women's bracket, for some reason, I could not bring up. But Carmelo Hayes, he will be facing the winner of the AJ Styles Randy Orton match, which we'll get to in a second here. So on the men's side, we also had Angelo Dawkins and Tama Tonga. Angelo Dawkins was filling in for Bobby Lashley. Now they say Bobby Lashley got hurt while training. I don't know if that's true or what the issue with Bobby Lashley is. If he's legit hurt or if there's something else going on, maybe contractually or maybe he's just sick. I don't know. I don't know. But they said he got hurt while training. Angelo Dawkins, really, I tell you, there's a couple times in this match he lit up Tama Tonga with the bloodline outside there. There's the one shoulder tackle, I guess you'd call it. He did to Tama Tonga, knocked him halfway across the freaking ring. I don't know if I think he rolled outside the ring then too. I mean, he blew him up. It was a solid hit. That was. If he would have turned that into a spear, I think that could have been match right there. They could have called it there. He did. I think he did try to pin Tonga after that. Tonga was able to kick out, or maybe he might have hit another move. So yeah. So yeah. I'm sorry, I got distracted there for a second. So Dawkins did have his tag team partner from the Street Profits out there to kind of help him out a little bit. Well, he started mixing it up with the bloodline, with Solo. Solo got in the ring apron to try to distract Angelo Dawkins. And so he mixed it up with Solo and the Tonga, the other lad, the Tonga, I can't think of his last name now, the newest member of the bloodline. And, he came over, he took care of business, but then he just stood there with his back to the guys from the bloodline that he just, was able to take out. Well, and they took him out. They took his ass out. They gave him the old spike to the throat. And I think it is a Tonga Toa. It's something like that. So they took his ass out. And Angelo Dawkins, he was distracted. And Tama Tonga, he gets the victory. He'll move on in the tournament. And then they threw the old spike into Angelo Dawkins' throat for good measure there. So the Street Profits, both of them got a nice thumb to the throat from Solo Sikoa. And as we've seen earlier in the night, Solo Sikoa talking to Paul Heyman informs Paul Heyman that he has spoke. Solo Sikoa has spoken to Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns said that he's in charge of the bloodline until Roman Reigns returns. And like Solo said to Paul Heyman, "You are now my wise man." And Paul's just kind of like looking at him, bewildered. And he's like, "Do you agree, wise man?" And Paul agrees. Paul's in for it. And then they hugged it out, which was kind of awkward. I thought he was going to kiss Paul. He might have. I don't think he did. But I thought he was going to kiss Paul on top of the head, and that would have been it. It would have been, actually, I thought it would have been funny if he did. It would have been hilarious. But he didn't. So, it would have been something to see Solo Sikoa kiss Paul on top of the bald head, maybe even give him a little pat, a little rub on top of the head. But Paul, he went in there for that hug. He kind of got buried the face in there. It was a good hug by Paul Heyman. I'll tell you, it was all right. As hugs go on professional wrestling, that's a solid hug. That's a solid bro hug there, and I think they all knew it. They all felt it in that little locker room area. So now Solo was running the show on the bloodline. We got a comment. Eileen says, "Is The Rock the tribal chief on the SmackDown end?" I don't know. So it's and that's the way we were talking about a couple of weeks ago. That's the way I saw it going. I saw The Rock kind of running Solo Sikoa. That pours, telling Solo, "You need to take over the bloodline. Roman cannot get it done. You take it over. You're younger. You're the next line, next man up. You're the next in line to be the tribal chief anyway." So I do feel like that's the way it was going. Still going that way, I'm not sure. But I do think The Rock is the one pulling the strings from SmackDown end of it. I wouldn't be too surprised if in a few weeks, when Roman does return, sometime in the near future, that it comes out that he never even talked to Solo Sikoa, that Solo kind of went out on and just said that. I wouldn't be too surprised if that's the route they go with that. I also wouldn't be too surprised if they did come back and Roman did give Solo his blessing, but it went. Solo does not want to give control back, and so then that's where it kind of makes me wonder. if The Rock will be involved at all with it. Because if it goes that route, then obviously that's Roman Reigns controlling Solo Sikoa. He gave Solo his blessing to be the tribal chief in his absence, but then when he comes back, Solo does not relinquish that title as the tribal chief. So that tells me that Roman's the one that was controlling it the whole time, but now he's lost control. Now he's got to, we still end up with this bloodline versus this bloodline, old bloodline versus new bloodline, where you have, in my thoughts, it would be Solo, Tama Tonga, whatever the dude's last name is Haku's other kid. And of course, we've been hearing much more Jacob Fatu. We keep hearing his name a lot, but he's not made an appearance yet. I say yet because it's coming. At least that's what everybody's saying. Everybody's saying all these predictions are saying it's coming, and I guess there's some speculation as to why we haven't seen him yet. But anyway, so there's 4 members there. Then you'd have the old bloodline, Roman Reigns. The Usos would get back together. Jay would have to forgive Jimmy and Roman for those transgressions, or even temporarily from their feuds before. And then you'd be missing one more member of that old bloodline, and that's where some speculation would have honorary Uso Sami Zayn stepping into that. But we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So. But it depends on what route they go. If it's actual, if he actually did talk to Roman, well, then I don't think The Rock is the one pulling the strings. I think it is Roman, and it's just going to get out of hand, and Roman won't be able to get it back. And but if it is The Rock, then I think it'd come out that Solo never talked to Roman Reigns. What do you think, Eileen? Do you think it's The Rock pulling strings on the SmackDown end? And I thought it was interesting that Solo asked Paul Heyman about the pooling of Roman Reigns and the bloodline from the draft, and he made it sound like that it was all Paul Heyman's idea to protect Roman, to protect the bloodline from being broken apart. But the way I understood, I thought that, as per Roman Reigns' request, he'd be removed from the draft. That's what I thought. But I could be very, very wrong about it. I don't know. So we have Eileen. She said she thinks it's The Rock pulling the strings. Adam Glenn, his phone rang. It's all right, Adam. We'll figure it out. Who the hell's calling you this time of the night, Adam Glenn? Come on now, lying to me. I think they will set it up for War Games. I agree. That makes perfect sense there for War Games. Let me adjust my ass back into my rocking chair here. It makes perfect sense for War Games. And I think it'd be brutal. I think it'd be bloody. I think it'd be awesome. Will there be 2 bloodlines? I think temporarily, Adam, there will be 2 bloodlines. I think that's the way it seems to be going. And then, the winner of that potential War Games match would lead to 1 true bloodline. And then the other bloodline would disband and go their separate ways. And Eileen has hit the nail on the head here. She says Adam got a booty call. Good for you, Adam Glenn. Go get you some, boy. And it's a fat ass. Okay. There you go. Good for you, Adam Glenn. Hey. You know what they say about chubby butts? More cushion for the pushing, buddy, right? All right. Eileen says, I don't see Solo Sikoa as being any real bloodline leader. He doesn't fit the character like The Rock or Roman Reigns does. Yeah, I agree. He doesn't have that charisma. He doesn't have that that stand-out characteristic, that stand-out out in front type of personality, I guess, maybe. Whereas Roman, you can see when he was in the Shield, he automatically, I think Roman Reigns, I feel like Roman Reigns was the first one to kind of start standing out. You had the triple power bomb. Well, he was the one doing the power bomb, and of course the spear and the hollering in the corner, whatever the hell he does. That's where he kind of started separating himself from the Shield. I thought, he kind of started standing out from those 3 guys. 3 alpha dogs. Those guys were, all 3 guys champions, and tops in their promotions. all of them. Great, professional wrestlers. And whereas Solo, you just don't get that feel where he stands out. He doesn't have that characteristic. He doesn't have that quality about him. But it seems like from hearing him on the mic, you're hearing him more on the mic now. He can talk. He doesn't do a bad job on the mic. So I'm interested to hear him more and see if he's able to kind of put himself out there to show that he has the charisma and the characteristics to be that alpha dog, that guy that can stand out and be a leader. But then again, it's like you said, it could be very well be The Rock running the show there, the Bloodline, where then again you won't need Solo Sikoa to be that alpha dog, that standout, unquestioned leader. Like you see the group, oh, that guy's definitely the leader. All right, so moving on. From that, we had Randy Orton, AJ Styles, the last match from the men's side of the bracket on Friday night. Great match, fantastic. AJ Styles is awesome. Randy's awesome. It's not a whole lot you could say. It's just awesome. It went back and forth. AJ got all of his typical type moves in, as well as Randy. AJ working on Randy's, I think it was his leg. Working on Randy's leg, did a great job there. And another body part being focused on. It seems like the wrestlers are doing that more and more now. I really dig that. I like that. Kind of lends itself back to old school wrestling and back to a little bit of credibility. Randy Orton comes out on top, and so you're gonna have with another RKO out of nowhere, like we were talking about earlier, with when Fantasy Football Girl was asking, which do you think is better? Do you think is the Stone Cold Stunner or the RKO? And I said I feel like the Stunner is more devastating. It could be more, it seemed like the Stunner would hurt more than what the RKO would. So it's a great match between Orton and Styles. Randy Orton dropping AJ on the announce table a couple times. I thought that was pretty cool. The fans chanting one more time. And of course, he gives them what they want. He does it one more time. So yeah, AJ, I don't know where he goes from here. He asked, I don't like. So AJ has to be in some sort of, I think, title type of. He has to be chasing some sort of title. I just can't see AJ Styles sitting stagnant as a mid-carder, because you have to figure what happens. Where does he go from here? AJ loses. He lost at a Backlash to Cody Rhodes in an absolutely amazing match. Amazing match between Cody and AJ. I heard that Meltzer gave it a 5-star rating, if whatever the hell that means. Dave Meltzer usually isn't the kind of guy that gives WWE matches 5 stars. He's done it a couple times, I think, for AEW, but for WWE, it doesn't seem to give that 5-star rating out to anybody. But he gave he actually gave the Cody Rhodes AJ Styles match 5 stars. And again, take that for what you will. I don't know. So AJ he's at the top of his game. He looks great. He's moving great. He did say that he has a couple years left in him. Not many though. So you have to wonder. His title windows are closing. He's not gonna want to be a mid carder. So where does he go from here? I don't want to say Intercontinental Championship. I don't know. Does he U.S. title type of thing? I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see what they do with AJ. I know we had the Good Brothers, Gallows and Anderson. I don't know where they stand with him now. Do they try to kind of bury the hatchet and get back together? I don't know. But hopefully AJ's in some sort of meaningful type feud and not just relegated to a mid card jobber like Nakamura is. It's one thing to be a mid card jobber like poor Nakamura, but when you're at the top, jobbing out every match, every main event match, that feels a lot better than it would if you're just doing it halfway through a show. If you're jobbing main events, that means you're a main eventer. So I'd rather job those matches out. Adam Glenn said he should retire. He has too much left in the tank yet, Adam Glenn. He looks great. He looks great. He moves well. So yeah, I don't see him going anywhere, anytime soon. But he did say, he doesn't have a whole lot yet, a couple of years, and that's going to be it. He does not want to be one of those guys that hang on, and can barely do anything. They look stiff, and after he is done wrestling, then and he can't move and can't do anything else, surgeries and stuff. He says he doesn't want to be that guy, so you have to figure that his time is coming soon. But a couple of years yet, I think. I think he has a couple of years, another 3 to 5. All right. What else do we have? We have the women's side here. Bianca Belair versus Candice LeRae. It was a decent match. Everybody knew Bianca was going to win this match. Candice LeRae, she had Indy Hartwell on the outside. Candice did a good job. Another wrestler focusing on a leg. I think it was the leg. Focusing on Bianca's leg. It was, awesome because Bianca's a strong style wrestler. She picking girls up and moving around at will. She does whatever she wants. You take out the legs, it's a lot harder to do those big moves like that. So Candice LeRae did a good job there, focusing on the leg. But Bianca Belair is just too strong, too good for her. So she's moving on. Yeah, Jade Cargill versus Piper Niven. This wasn't a bad match either. I thought Piper did really well. She actually got some moves in on Jade Cargill. We haven't really seen that often so far. Jade, that's hard for me to say. I keep calling her Chad. Jade Cargill, she looked like she was in a little bit of trouble. Now, again, here's another match where I didn't think Jade Cargill was going to lose this match. I still had no doubt that she was going to win, even when Piper looks like that she had opportunities to win. So Jade eventually does beat Piper Niven, but she's able to get her finisher on her, which was fantastic. Now I'm not sure what Jade calls her finisher. I'm not good with remembering stuff like that. But Beth Phoenix used to do the same finisher, and I was a huge Beth Phoenix fan. I love Beth Phoenix, and so she does the same type of move where you get the double underhooks, you lift them up, and they go flat to their face. That was impressive to get Piper up like that. And other wrestlers she's got up there, she's held them up like that. She's held them up in the air. She wasn't doing that with Piper. She got her up. Piper's legs went back, and then face went down to the mat. So that was very, very impressive. Great job by Piper and Jade Cargill. So now we're gonna. So the WWE set this one up right. This bracket up right. They have Jade Cargill at one end of the bracket, and Bianca Belair at the other end of the bracket. So the only way these two are going to meet is in the finals. Or the finals on their side of the bracket anyway. So that's going to be a lot of fun, watching those two duke it out, because you have to figure they're going to keep winning. You also had Nia Jax and Naomi. Naomi put up a hell of a fight against Nia Jax. I think Naomi had a little bit of a wardrobe malfunction there. I think her boob almost fell out a couple times. She kept tugging at her top. She's trying to hold it on. It's kind of unfortunate, for her anyway. For the viewing audience, maybe not so much. But she was going for that Hurricane Rana off the top rope on Nia Jax, which was awesome. I didn't see. I thought Nia was just going to reverse it and throw her off, or maybe even looks like there was a chance that she was going to power bomb her the way she had her arms underhooked Naomi's legs when Naomi got up on her shoulders. So I thought she was going to maybe power bomb her. She was going to reverse it. I did not think Nia Jax was going to do a Hurricane Rana. Naomi was able to get her over. Nia Jax was able to flip over. She shocked the hell out of me. I thought it was fantastic. And that was the move of the match right there. Absolutely. But Naomi, again, she got to the top there. She's tugging on her top. So it's like, it's very distracting. Like, what's going on with Naomi's top there. And she's doing the best she can to kind of continue it and, move on. She probably really could have used a commercial break at that point, to be honest with you. Maybe somebody throw her a t-shirt so she can keep going without worrying about it. I don't know. I don't know what they could have done for her. It reminds me a lot of the Charlotte Flair match. I think that was 2 WrestleManias ago, maybe. I think it was a WrestleMania. I don't think it was a SummerSlam. I feel like it was a WrestleMania where her top, you know, it was like I guess like a bra or bikini top. It popped open, and she had to go to the referee, and the referee had to hook it back up for her. Like, holy hell! But yeah, so you had Naomi just constantly tugging at it. I swear to God, I think it fell out once or twice. It's yeah, I legitimately felt bad for her. I actually did, because nobody wants their boob out there, you know, for millions of people to see. I mean, if they paid me millions of dollars, or hundreds of thousands of dollars, maybe even $50, I'd show my boob on TV. But they're not. Nobody's paying $50 to see my boob. So I'll tell you that right now. If you're out there and you have $50, you let me know. I want to see the money in the account first, and I will show boob. All right. Anyway, so so Nia Jax, she does get the pin. She does get the win, even after that, you know, huge move from the top rope. The awesome Hurricane Rana from Naomi. Nia Jax does get the win. Nia Jax is doing better. I feel like Nia Jax is improving greatly. She still doesn't move well enough for my liking, but again, this is a match where you had two different styles, and they made it work. I feel like they made it work. They did a good job with it, and Nia pulls out the win, and she moves on. And it's going to be interesting to see how her next match goes. I don't know if she faces. I want to say she faces Jade next, but I could be wrong. And if life has taught me anything, there's a good chance that I am wrong. But I feel like Nia faces Jade next, so that's going to be interesting to see that match. To see what kind of power moves Jade's going to do to her. Jade. If it's Jade, even if it's Bianca, it's one of those two. One of those two they're going to get her up on their shoulders, on one of their shoulders, absolutely, and then they're going to toss Nia around a little bit. I think that's going to be a lot of fun to see. Displays of power, I like that. But I don't know if I could see Nia in the finals. I don't know. She's been doing really well. I just have a hard time seeing her get over Jade Cargill or Bianca Belair. And I think everybody wants to see that Jade Cargill Bianca match. I just thought we would have seen that much later. Adam Glenn says, "I'll give you $1 to keep your shirt on." Deal. All right. Adam, I swear to God, if I don't see that $1, you're going to find out. You're going to get boob pictures. All right. So what else we got from SmackDown? We had another match announced for the Premium Live event, the King and Queen of the Ring finals, and it was Cody Rhodes. Nick Aldis brought Cody out to announce his next opponent at the Premium Live event, and it's going to be Logan Paul, which really surprised me. I did not see it going that way. But then again, you have to think back. Okay, he did face Roman Reigns for the title in Saudi Arabia, so that must tell me that a Saudi Arabian prince demanded to see one of the Paul boys, specifically the one that is a professional wrestler, in one of those matches. And that's what seems like it happens. That's how we got Goldberg and Undertaker. One of those Arabian princes, demanded an appearance by the Undertaker and possibly Goldberg, I guess, and they end up having a match, and the Undertaker almost gets killed. So, and Undertaker gets concussed, or Goldberg gets concussed. So it was a shit show. So I assume that's how it went, because otherwise it doesn't make sense. Why it would be? Is it Logan or Jake Paul? God damn it, I get those two mixed up, and it's pissing me off. Because now I'm doubting myself. I said Logan Paul. Now I'm thinking, well, maybe it's Jake Paul. I don't know. Jake from State Farm. I don't know. The Paul boy. That's what I'm gonna call him now. The Paul boy. So now it's Cody versus the Paul boy, and Cody calls him out. Says, the only way you win is with the brass knucks, or some idiot in a prime bottle. Give Jake Logan Paul, or no, it's Logan Paul. Yeah, I think it's Logan Paul. God, anyway. They're the same damn person anyway. Logan Paul and Logan, I think it's Logan. Logan Paul says that every big event that Cody's happened, that he's overshadowed it. the Royal Rumble that he won, people remember that Royal Rumble for that midair collision that he had with Ricochet, and he's not wrong. That was an amazing spot that everybody remembers that spot. And when they show highlights of Royal Rumbles, that's in the highlights. And there's a couple other instances that he said as well. Like this past WrestleMania, Cody finishes his story, and what is everybody talking about? They're talking about the Speedy guy in the Prime bottle getting his face kicked off by Randy Orton and getting thrown through a table. Now I don't agree with that at all. Nobody was talking about that they were talking about it after it happened, but nobody's talking about it now except for him. The Show Me Speed or Speedy Show or something like that. He went back to his millions of dollars in his mansion, playing video games and stuff, and nobody's talking about him in wrestling until he brought him up again. So, yeah, but it's going to be a fun match. Logan Paul's awesome in the ring, really, really good. Cody's fantastic, and Cody, said he's never won the U.S. Championship, and if he wins that, he'll be the U.S. champion, and it's he'll be a Grand Slam winner. So that has me kind of taken back that it's I'm surprised that it's title for title. I just thought it was going to be for Cody's title, but now if it's title for title, that makes it a lot more interesting. But it's I'm gonna ruin it for you. I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. It's gonna be a DQ or a count out, something like that. No title's gonna change there. I can't see Logan Paul losing his title to Cody. Cody's not gonna lose his title to Logan Paul, and so it's gonna be a DQ. So something wonky's gonna happen. So there, I ruined it. I apologize, but that's the finish to it. All right. So that's what I have for SmackDown as well. That's all I have for today. But I'm going to go ahead and do our sponsor reads here in 2 seconds. As soon as I pull it up, there we go. We got Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. You can reach Big Al at 1-800-HURT-123. That's 1-800-HURT-123. Jason Fine has 3 office locations conveniently located throughout Pennsylvania and the Garden State of New Jersey. In New Jersey, his offices are located in Cherry Hill on 3 Greensward Lane. The phone number there is 856-209-5258. Then in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. The offices are located at 500 Grant Street, Suite 2900. The phone number there is 412-365-8151. And in the city of Brotherly Love, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, the offices are located at 1628 JFK Boulevard, Suite 2120. The phone number there is 267-888-2980. That's Jason Fine, attorney Big Al. Head on over to monkeycoldcoffee.com for all your gourmet coffee needs. They have bourbon, chocolate chip infused coffee, toasted coconut rum. They have a Sumatran blend, medium roast coffee. They have an organic blend coffee called Perula, Florida. And their newest flavor, Golden Honey Agave. All those flavors, fantastic. I highly recommend a toasted coconut rum. That's my favorite. The aroma itself is worth it, but the taste is outstanding, as well as the bourbon chocolate chip infused. And for those of you that don't like flavored coffees, the Sumatran medium roast is out of this world as well. Great coffee taste. And all that at monkeycoldcoffee.com. They're also selling barrel-aged honey. Head on over to their swag shop. Get yourself a t-shirt, coffee mug, tumbler cup, cold brew pitcher set for all you iced coffee and cold brew coffee lovers. They have K-cup adapters. And don't forget some of that sweet, sweet Paradise rum cake. So moist, so good. I love that Paradise rum cake. Not an overly rummy taste. There's some cakes I've tried, like the Jack Daniel's rum cake, or it's not Jack Daniel's isn't rum, it's a whiskey, but they're I guess it's a whiskey cake, and it's just overpowering with that whiskey flavor. It's just like it kind of takes away a little bit. The Paradise rum cake is the perfect balance between cake and rum. It's nice and moist. It's outstanding. It is very, very good. I highly recommend it. Just like all their coffees here at monkeycoldcoffee.com. And at checkout, use that promo code OOTB Sports for 10% off your order. That promo code, once again, is OOTB Sports for 10% off your order at monkeycoltcoffee.com. And I'm back, baby. A couple more things here. We got, don't forget, debuting May 27th, 8:30 p.m. Check it out, Inside the Octagon. For all you combat sports lovers, UFC lovers, Paul and Josh will be talking UFC. Like I said, debuting May 27th, Mondays at 8:30 p.m. Be sure to check it out, show them some love, and get your UFC fix right here at Out of the Box Sports Entertainment, where you can follow us on Facebook, YouTube, X. Like, follow, subscribe. Please, please, please subscribe to our YouTube channel and our X, Twitter, whatever the hell you want to call it. Throw us a like, throw us a follow. We follow back, just so you know. And we're also on TikTok and on the Instagram as well. You can check me out at Atomic Drop, OOTBE on X. And of course, on X as well, on Twitter, you have Out of the Box Sports at OOTBox Sports on Twitter and X. And also same thing for YouTube. On YouTube, it's OOTBox Sports on YouTube and Facebook. So be sure to give us a follow and subscribe to our channel on YouTube, or just type in Out of the Box Sports Entertainment. So either one will get you to where you need to be. All right, so that's all I have for today. We'll be back next Saturday, 10 p.m., talking the next elimination matches from this past Monday, the upcoming Monday, I should say, from the next upcoming Monday and Friday SmackDown, and see where we stand now after that for the King and Queen of the Ring tournament. And we'll have more people on, so you will just have to look at my ugly mug. And also a shout out to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day is tomorrow. So yeah, shout out to all the moms there. My wife, she does a hell of a job keeping our heathens in line. So happy Mother's Day, everybody. All right, so that's all I have. You can check me out Wednesday morning, 10 a.m. with the Batcave, talking New York Mets baseball. Next Thursday, 10 a.m., the Silver and Black Lair LA Kings edition, talking LA Kings hockey. Next Friday morning, 10 a.m., the Silver and Black Lair Las Vegas Raiders edition, talking Las Vegas Raiders football. I'll be talking linebackers. And then, now, of course, next Saturday night, 10 p.m., we're back here with the Atomic Drop podcast with all your WWE wrestling talk. So, all right, that's all I have for today. Thank you, everybody, for checking us out. Thank you for commenting. Like I said, please give us a like and a follow, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll be seeing you guys Wednesday morning. I'll see you later. I don't know what else to say. Goodbye. Usually I'd say to Cowboy Dave, all right, Dave, take us home. And he'll say, yeah, let me talk to you. Whose game is it? And he'll say, yeah, all that good stuff LA Knight. But no, I ain't got none of that for you. So I'm getting out of here. See you later.